Shattered Silence, A Journey of Survival and Healing, by Nanice Munoz, formerly Nicola Nooks. Chapter 16. Embracing New Opportunities for Growth. With each passing day, I grew more confident in my ability to create the life I had always envisioned. As I began to heal from my past, I opened myself to opportunities that had once felt beyond my grasp. I embraced each chance for growth, whether in my personal life or professional endeavors. I stepped outside of my comfort zone, taking on challenges that had once filled me with fear. With every challenge I faced, I discovered a strength and capability within me that I had never fully realized. My life was no longer defined by the rejection and pain of the past. Instead, it was shaped by my resilience, my willingness to heal, and my determination to live fully. The opportunities that came my way were no longer barriers to overcome, but gifts to be received and cherished. I came to understand that life offered far more beauty, possibility, and promise than I had ever imagined. Reflecting on personal and spiritual growth. Through the struggles and triumphs of my journey, I've come to understand that my growth is not defined by external achievements, but by a profound internal transformation. Each challenge has fortified my faith and deepened my understanding of who I am in God. As I began to heal from the wounds of my past, I embraced the opportunities before me with renewed strength and confidence, trusting that God had prepared me for this season of growth. There were moments when I stepped into unfamiliar territory. Perhaps it was taking on a new ministry opportunity, building new relationships, or taking risks I would have once avoided. Each step became evidence to the work God was doing within me, shaping me into someone who could move forward not with fear, but with hope and expectancy. As I grew spiritually, I realized that true success is not measured by worldly standards, but by my ability to serve God and fulfill the purpose He designed for me. This revelation shifted my perspective, allowing me to embrace the future with peace and clarity, one that transcended any external accomplishments. The power of a name, embracing a new identity. One of the most transformative steps I took toward healing and embracing my future was changing my name. There were many reasons behind this decision, but the most significant was the realization that my name, which meant victory or conqueror, might have been tied to some of the battles I faced in life. As its meaning suggested, victory often required a battle, and conquering came with hardship. Over time, I began to question whether the weight of that name, constantly associated with struggle, was keeping me tethered to past challenges and difficulties. Much like the biblical examples of name changes, I saw this as a symbolic step toward releasing the past and stepping into a new future. When Jacob wrestled with God, his name was changed to Israel, signifying transformation and a new identity. Similarly, Abraham's name change marked the beginning of a new covenant and journey with God. In my case, changing my name was an act of faith. It was a way to shed the old layers of identity, break free from the weight of past struggles, and move forward into the person God had called me to be. This decision wasn't just about letting go of the past. It was about embracing the future with hope and clarity. My new name, meaning God's favor, was a declaration of trust in the divine purpose unfolding in my life. It reflected a shift in my mindset from identifying with constant battle to embracing a future filled with grace, favor, and peace. By changing my name, I took ownership of my new identity, one no longer defined by the hardships I had endured, but by the promise of God's goodness and favor that awaited me. Embracing the new, a step toward the future. As I reflect on this chapter of my life, I realize that changing my name was far more than a personal decision. It was a spiritual declaration. It marked an acknowledgement of how far I had come and a bold step into the person I was becoming. It symbolized the truth that as we grow and heal, we are not bound by our past or by the label others may have placed on us. With each new day, I am learning that true growth is not defined by external accomplishments, but by the internal transformation that brings peace, confidence, and purpose. The name I now carry reflects the abundance and favor that God has prepared for me. It serves as a daily reminder that I am no longer defined by the struggles of my past, but by the grace and favor that fill both my present and my future. Embracing this new identity has empowered me to move forward with renewed strength and unwavering faith, knowing that I am walking in the purpose God has designed for me and that His favor is with me every step of the way. That concludes Chapter 16. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for the conclusion and final reflections of Shattered Silence, a journey of survival and healing in the next video.